Hey, what's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode.
Welcome.
Hey, what's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Get Close. I am Gio.
And I'm Bart.
And today I want to talk about your loyalty to your children. And us specifically, your loyalty to Taika. Okay? So I've been thinking about this for quite a bit. And now I don't think I've ever shared this with you. I want to hear your perspective on it.
What a bitch.
Who's a bitch?
You don't share shit. We're supposed to be vulnerable, intimate, and never hide anything. I can't believe you've been hiding this whole time.
No, I save it for the podcast, of course.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so there's like two stories I heard. Okay, let me just say the story. So the first story is I had a girlfriend a few years back, and she had a boyfriend for many, many years. And when you see them on paper or you just see them in person, you think they're perfect. You think they're perfect for each other.
Yeah.
Then out of the blue, even for her, she finds out he's cheating on her. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. And through her, she didn't like do much digging because it was pretty blatant. Once she saw one piece of evidence, that was it.
Yeah.
But then, when you find something that's inconsistent with either behavior or a story they told you or something, now you start thinking back to all these other instances that kind of made you feel funny or weird. And you're like, oh my God, it all makes sense now. Like this, these lies or the cheating or whatever has been going on for so long now that like when I think to that one time when this happened, now I understand why it was so weird.
Yeah, because like red flags are obvious, but then there might have been orange flags. So the orange flags are like, oh, were those precursor signs?
Yeah, I mean, they weren't any flags. It was just something out of the norm.
Yellow flags?
Sure. Okay, we'll do yellow.
So they're yellow flags, and you're like, oh.
Yes. So then one time she remembers her boyfriend being out of town. Or one day she couldn't get a hold of him. He said he was going to hang out with friends or something like that. Maybe he did go out of town. He was going to hang out with friends, and she genuinely thought something had happened to him. She's like, it's not like him to not, respond to me. Even she's not a clingy person, but she was just like, oh, this is weird. Like, I hope he's okay. Like, never once is she thinking like he's out there, like the memes, right? Like, what is he doing? Cheating on me? Like, that just wasn't their relationship. She's like, holy crap, this is not normal behavior. So she calls the mom. She's like, hey, do you know where so-and-so is? Like, I'm just trying to make sure he's okay. He says he was going to be out, but like, he's not even responding to my texts or anything. I just want to make sure he's good.
He was probably just in Glendora.
What's in Glendora? Oh, because there's no signal?
There's no signal, yeah.
So. Probably. There's nothing to do in Glendora. It's probably not. So the mom's like, oh, you know what? He's here, but like he's in the shower or whatever. Like, I'll just have him call you back later.
The mom created an alibi for him?
Yes. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So then.
Whoa, that's crazy.
This particular story led me to be like, okay, well, what type of parent would I be? Like, would I be the one to get in the middle and be like, you know what? No, like he's not here. We should see what's going on, Or like, if I knew something was up, am I like talking to Taika and being like, hey man, like this behavior is not good. You better fix it. Or do I like meddle in it?
So you're putting yourself in the cheater's mom's shoes.
Yeah. Or just not even the cheater, right? Let's say like it now comes to do with the second story that I was listening to is I think you had this guy, I forgot his name. He went to prison or whatever.
Oh, Johnny Chang?
Yeah, you had Johnny Chang on JK News.
Yeah. And
not necessarily his specific story, but the idea of my child, who's now like an adolescent or whatever, committing a crime that I am aware of, and like would I cover up for him? Like would I prevent him? Like would I help him not go to jail? Like would I choose the law versus my son's loyalty or like the future? Like it's just this weird spot.
Do you know your answer?
But they both. I have two answers.
Oh, you do?
I do.
All right. Well, first of all, shout out to Johnny Chang, aka L. Throw your dubs out there. You know what I'm saying? There's dubs all over the world. So.
What are dubs? What is it?
It's just a little camaraderie group. Anyways, it's back to the topic at hand here.
You're the only one that deviated from it. Don't go anyways and then try to bring it back when you're the ass fucking derailed it in the first place.
I can sense how much you love me.
Is that what you said?
And I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm never changing.
For me, that's fucking Z.
What's fucking
With a capital
easy?
E and a capital Z.
That was a double E, but go ahead.
Fine. So for me, it's a combination of a couple of things. The first one is, what is the actual and absolute consequence of said action? That's one. Number two is, did he mean it? And number three is, where is it on my scale of morals?
Yeah.
And depending on what those ratings are on those three scales determines if I take my son home and I shoot him myself in the head.
Excuse me?
Or we flee the country and we never look back.
Okay, let's just maybe bring it back to the cheating then. Because that other one's fucking extreme.
Well, like if my son turns out to be a psychopath, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then unfortunately, he becomes a person of mass violence, right? He's out doing crazy shit.
You would kill your own son? You would kill Taika with your own hands.
I would.
You wouldn't.
I know, because I'm a psychopath too. So for me,
I was about to fucking say, do I need to like...
No, because for me...
All right, everybody listening to this podcast right now, if I disappear...
The way that I see it is
the fuck?
Parents are responsible for their children, right?
Yeah,
And
but we're not
if
fucking killers.
He bombs an entire airport.
Yeah, I'm not a bomber,
70,000 people
Yes,
pass
he's an
away.
asshole. Yeah, but I can't take my own kid's hands.
So what do you do?
I can't take his life with my own hands.
All right, this is what I'll do then. At the court case, I'm going to be in the jury, and I'm just going to go, he's guilty, he's guilty, he's guilty, he's guilty. Put him away, put him away. That's what I'll do.
Really?
Yeah.
You'll fucking backstab your son like that?
I have to.
Why?
He is a detriment to this world. Wow. He can't control himself.
I can't believe
He thinks
you.
he's doing he thinks he's eating Pop-Tarts.
I'm just kidding.
But he's just straight like obliterating other people's sons.
No, for real though, you would kill him.
I would.
Damn.
Yeah, no questions asked. I'm like, I have to be responsible for what I brought into this world, and because of what I brought into this world, took away what other people brought into this world at that mass scale, and we can tell that there's just some wires loose or something about his environment that was not good. I got to be like, you know what? I'm so sorry, guys.
Would you try to rehabilitate him or no?
Obviously,
are you doing?
Obviously, I'm gonna do my due diligence.
You can't say obviously. You just
what I'm
called
saying-
yourself a psychopath.
That's why I said something crazy, like 7,000 people like missed. That's what I'm talking about. We tried. We can tell when we came home from 4th grade and there's 20 bunnies in the backyard, all laid like perfectly OCD with their heads chopped off. I'm like, we probably started rehabilitating there. But when he gets to freaking, well, if he has to bomb a place, I hope it's LAX. That place is horrendous.
Don't say that.
Okay, fine.
Take it back.
Well, maybe he bombs when no one's there.
No.
Okay, fine. Well, he bombs.
He's not bombing anything.
Okay, if he does something crazy bones.
There we go.
All right. I'm like, we tried. We tried when he had the whole bunny syndrome. We tried when he had the coyote syndrome. We tried when we found a kidnapped classmate in his backpack,
Fuck. Okay.
So that's like obviously my extreme, but
yeah,
those are my, like the way Bart PT works. That's my algorithm is, what is his immediate consequence? So if he, like, let's say somehow everyone framed him, some crazy stuff happens, and we know it's punishable by death in this country. But I know in my heart of hearts, I know in my, even based off evidence, that he is innocent. But I know in the game of U.S. law, he will lose. We're leaving this country, no turning back.
that's tight.
So to me, it's intent. What is the immediate consequence? And where is it in my morals? Because, what is ethical and what is legal are two different things.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, because legal is going to depend on state by state, country to country.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some states,
Yeah.
you sock me, I sock you,
We're
even
good.
Stevens.
Yeah.
Some states, you sock me
I go
first, I sock you back, I get the bigger crime, aka California. So it's, state by state, all different. So to me, that's my like chat GPT of how like I figure out how I would proceed. What about you?
Same.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
three?
yeah, same.
But you said you had two scenarios. What are your two scenarios?
Well, the two would be that Like, depending, I mean, you basically broke it down. So the first one would be like, I would turn him in to be like, yo, what the fuck? So that's the first one where I'd be like, yeah, he's guilty. Take him away. I can't take his own life. I can't do that. I'm not a psychopath. I'm very normal. I'm very level-headed. I have a lot of emotions. I have a big old heart. I feel things.
But you rather turn him away to jail where potentially other people can beat him up and
I don't know.
him?
Like, if he's that crazy,
Because he's in someone else's custody now. And when you're in someone else's custody, anything can happen.
yeah, but what if he gets rehabilitated?
He gets rehabilitated in solitary confinement?
I don't know. So you don't think he should pay for his crimes?
I am. I'm paying them for him.
You're killing him.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, I guess I would have him be in someone else's custody. I can't do it. There's no way I can.
If you want to truly pay for his crimes, this is what you would do. The 7,000 people he obliterated, you have a vote with all their parents. Do you want my child in jail, or do you want my child to be gonzos?
Okay, 50-50 split. Now what?
Some half of them want him in jail and half of them want to be gonzos.
Yeah.
Then we gotta probably do a game of sudden death.
Oh my god!
Right?
Until there's an actual.
Yeah, until there's.
Oh my god! This is like a fucking Korean horror film.
Yeah, we gotta figure out.
Dude, this is a good one. So that was the one way that I'd go. And then the other one would be like, I would want to protect him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still his mom, but knowing us, like, we do try to get at the root of things, and we don't just look at one isolated incident, and we don't really gaff it off. Like, we really do work with him. I think we would try our very best to do everything in our power, our control, with our resources, to see what we can do to change that behavior. Yeah, I can't take his life though. That thing is, I can't do that.
Have your parents ever turned you in?
I've never done anything that I needed to get turned into.
Oh, well, lucky for you.
Have they turned you in?
Yeah, my dad did. So,
did you feel betrayed, or were you like, he's a righteous man?
I don't know. So in 4th grade, I was already like on a rocky relationship with my pops because he and my mom got divorced when I was in 1st grade. So this is already like 3 years into me seeing him only like once or twice a week, and only for a few hours during those times. And my dad's like job was to pick me up from school and either take me home or take me to Kung Fu.
Every day?
No, for just Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Oh.
And my dad one time, you know, like, you remember in 4th grade where like the thing is like pencil boxes and pencils and stuff, like people want dope shit, right? Like,
yeah, I spent like $20 on pencils one time.
Whether it's Sanrio or Morning Glory or even like the American stuff, like you just want cool like little knickknacks. So I told my dad, can you take me to Save-On's, which is a drugstore, and drop me off?
Does it not exist anymore? Is that why you said it like that?
Well, I don't know. Some places, you know how like, you know, there's Hardee's and Carl's Jr.?
I see.
So I just realized how like expansive our audience is. So I just want to be inclusive about it, you know? I just don't want to like rule anybody out.
Oh, shut up.
Right? Like I heard like Albertsons down here, but NorCal Safeway. I just want to be really inclusive. You know?
All right, go, dude.
And so I just want a virtual signal like that.
Okay. Any other fucking words you want to highlight here?
No. So
buzzwords.
So I have him drop me off, and I'm gonna pick up some some stuff. He drops me off. I go and I think I buy one like one of those mechanical.
You think you buy one?
Yeah, because I remember like I had to be smart enough not to just come out with nothing.
So you knew you wanted to jack some shit.
Yeah, I knew.
Oh, okay.
So he dropped me off. I bought one, but my pockets were full of other shit, like fucking lead pencils, mechanical erasers, pens, sick pens, gel pens, like.
Because you knew your parents would never.
Yeah, so I just got fucking all kinds of sick shit, and then
how sick can this shit be? Because Save-On was pretty whack.
Well, that stuff is considered like what I had was considered at least like the Ferrari of pens and stuff.
There's no such thing as a Ferrari in Save-On.
Well, you don't know where to look. Are you looking here or are you looking here?
Okay, go.
Because if you look right here, you can see a lot of sick stuff. Like Zebra.
I'm pretty tall, so I probably didn't see it.
All those sick brands, you know?
Okay.
And then so afterwards, he took me to our go-to place. McDonald's, yep. And then I'm like, oh, I'll meet you at the cash register. I'm going to go pee. When I go in the bathroom and I pee, I go into the shitter stall and I lock it. And that's when I start unpackaging stuff because, you know, with packaging, things become really, really bulky. So I unpackage it, take all stuff out. And then before I could even get to it, boom, that door kicks open. And it's my dad. And he goes, I fucking knew you stole. Beat the fuck out of me right then and there. Boom, 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 boom. Picks me up, drags me out of the place that is filled with the smell of delicious French fries, throws me into his truck.
Were you crying?
Fuck yeah, I'm in 4th grade. He beat the fuck out of me. And then he took me back to Save-Ons, and then he grabbed me by like my collar, pulls me in, had me empty my pockets on the counter, and tells the guy, call the police right now. My son stole all this shit.
Oh my God. Okay. How did you feel there?
I was like, well, first it was like a crazy.
It's surreal.
Surreal, right? I'm like, how did he even know? And then, cause I'm really slick, he beat the fuck out of me. And then now he's gonna
We'll start
turn me
finding
in.
out how kids do it.
Yeah.
Once Taika starts doing it, because we think we're slick, but like my parents always be like, "You think you fucking this is the first time I invented that shit."
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll probably see it.
That's true. And then, yeah, I just couldn't believe those words that are coming in my dad's mouth, like call the cops. You know, I was like, what the like? What?
I like how you're judging him.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like, am I gonna go to jail? Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, you should go to jail, you little shit.
yeah, and he calls and then the guy was like, you know, he's put on the spot. He's like, no, it's okay, man. You just turn it back and just say sorry. We won't have to. Because who the fuck's gonna call a cop on like a, I don't know, 9-year-old, you know? So he's like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'm like, Dad, he's saying like, just give it back. He goes, no, you call police, call police, call police. And he's like, no, he's just saying if I give it back, I say sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm like crying and shit like that. And that was the first time that I ever really got turned in. And I was like, from that point on, it didn't stop me from stealing more.
Okay.
But it definitely
made you sneakier?
No, it put a bookmark in my book though.
About what?
I don't know. It's just a very memorable moment.
I see.
So I don't know if I took like a negative away or a positive away from that, but it's definitely like someone went through the book and highlighted some lines.
You get to learn about your dad and his character through that experience. That didn't do anything for you where you're like, oh, this is my dad's type of behavior.
I guess so. I guess what I learned is my dad's righteous and he don't fuck around.
That's tight.
So I was like, oh shit, like this is, but I think how I would want it to go is if my dad told me I'm not gonna call the cops on you, but I'm gonna fuck you up. I think I would have been like,
I deserve it.
Oh, we're family, you know. Like we take care of it in family. Cause that's one thing I kind of liked about like all my older like youngs and shit, growing up is they never let anyone fuck with me, but they'll fuck me up more than anybody else would ever fuck with me anyways. But I felt some sort of like weird love through that. You know?
Yeah, that is weird.
Like I'm like, oh, that fool was talking shit. Like my youngs would just whoop their ass, and then they'll come and beat my ass for other things.
Okay.
But I felt some sort of like protected love, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's that's fucking hard for a parent. So like now kind of taking it to the other one of where you're trying to teach Taika about like monogamy and relationships and not telling a lie. Like would you say he's in that situation, you know, he has a girlfriend.
Oh, so to the specific situation that you're talking about?
Yeah, because this one's not as nuts as like mass murder, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, what would you do in that situation?
For the cheating part?
Yeah.
I like the way my mom raised us, where she's going, hey, you're in that relationship, not me. Like, you need to deal with it. Whatever it is, I'll back you up. I'll help you, but I'm not going to meddle in it. I'm not going to...
But isn't that the mom backing him up? Oh, he's in the shower.
But not like that.
Oh.
Backing him up where it's just you and I. Like, she's not going to get involved with the thing. You know what I mean? She would probably be like, I have no idea.
Okay, so Taika's girlfriend calls you.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I can't reach Taika. I don't know what's going on.
I would hang up.
And then Taika's not there with you. What do you say?
Well, he's not here with me. I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, now I'm telling the truth, right? But if it was one of those where I know now that he's seeing another chick or whatever, I would for sure be like, hey, dude, like, that's not okay. And this is why it's not okay. And I would have a conversation like, yo, you really need to settle this shit because it's going to get really dirty or fucked up, or like, how would you feel? Like, I would have those really heavy, deep conversations with him. But say she calls and she's like, oh, but he said he was going to be at your house. Like, what, you know, has he been there? I'd be like, I'm not sure. Let me call you right back. Let me see what's going on. And then I'd call him and be like, yo, what the fuck is going on? She just said this thing. Like, are you still fucking doing your stupid shit? I would have it like that. You know, where I'm talking to him, but I'm not siding with
What if there's
else.
some sort of like intervention or like opening of the files, if you will, that happens, and they're like, "You stupid fucking bitch! I called you and you knew too." What would you reply to that?
Yeah, but it's not my business. Like, that's between you two. If you guys want to do adult things, you need to handle adult things like fucking adults.
Yeah, that's pretty deep.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're going to be in a fucking adult relationship and the mom's stepping in, you guys are not adults then.
Yeah, that's true. If
He's
you need
not-
adult supervision. Then
Exactly.
It's not adults, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, like, if they try to point it like that to me, I'm going to be like, then don't be in a fucking relationship if you want mommy and daddy to be around. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait.
Why?
Call me a stupid fucking bitch. Oh, really? Wait a minute. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So what about you?
And what is the situation? This exact one?
Sure,
So
yeah,
he's
yeah,
already
yeah.
been cheating,
And
and they call me.
Yeah. Yeah. So you find out.
Yeah.
How you find out, it could be on accident. You found out on accident. What do you do now?
So to me, depends on the intent, right? Like I was saying.
Okay.
So is he even serious with this chick? Does he view her serious?
How do you ever know that?
I'll talk to my son.
I see.
Did I think they're gonna get married?
Why didn't you know so many details?
Because I think it's all context. I think all rules are like, you got to be smart. You have to be able to bend all the rules. So, for example,
But isn't cheating?
No.
Because it's lying. Lying is lying.
If he's 30 versus he's 19
But it's still lying.
versus he's 16.
What's the difference with ages?
So he's lying when he's 16. That's correct. But it's something that, like, for sure, everyone's feelings get hurt, but it's not as serious. Versus he's engaged and he cheats. That's a big deal. What is happening? You know, you already proposed to her. You committed to her.
Yeah, but
You know what I'm saying? Like, I look down at both, but one I look down harder at.
Well, it's not obvious. That's why I'm asking questions. So you
Oh.
can't say obviously because
see.
when you said that, I was just like, wait, what? How is it different?
Yeah, I'm negative towards both.
Okay, good.
But I like to ask questions to figure out the scenario because the scenario dictates the proper solution, in my opinion.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
So, which is why I'm like, is it a chick that I don't even like to begin with? She was fucking rude to me at Thanksgiving. And that is it one of those? I'm not excusing his behavior, but I'm trying to judge the situation. So I go, is that the case? Or is it like they were about to get engaged? They're both 33. What the fuck is going on? You know? So if it's scenario one, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, for sure. He's kicking right here. I'll lie. I got his back. You know? And then I'll talk to him like,
That's horrible. You're not letting him make good decisions.
well, I gotta cover his tracks. I don't know if this fucking bitch is crazy. What if she's Korean?
Who
Fucking
cares?
wants to slash all his tires.
Yeah, so he needs daddy support for that. Like he needs to. So again, if you're gonna be doing adult shit, you need to act like a fucking adult.
And that's why we're together, so you can handle these things.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like.
What was that?
I don't know. Like I think my air
Is that
bubble.
Mongolian chant?
It's like an air bubble was going down my throat.
Oh. I think your throat singing.
Yeah, so it's like if you're going to be doing adult things, you need to handle it like an adult from day one. So regardless if she's being a complete super asshole to me or you, I'm not going to like it, nor am I going to like that chick. But he needs to solve that shit.
All right, I take back my answer. What I'm going to say is, you know what? My wife told me, you guys are adults. Adults need to do adult shit.
You gave it away.
Adults need to do adult shit, so I'm staying out of it. I don't know anything.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now you're going to cover his tracks because he doesn't know how to, one, pick a fucking healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Of course he's 16. Of course he's going to have shitty partners. Obviously, that comes with the territory. But one, he picks really shitty partners. Two, he allows his partners to talk to his parents, who hopefully they have a healthy relationship with. He allows that. Like, if we keep meddling in with that, he's going to expect that every time, right? Because he's never put in an uncomfortable situation where he has to face the ugly truth to now, like, dismantle and, like, conquer that shit so that he learns from it to avoid it the next time.
Yeah. And then afterwards, I'm going to be like, Taika, every time you put me in that situation again, it's 10 sprawls.
We have him doing 10 sprawls now. You can't give inside jokes without giving context.
It's not inside joke. I'm just telling you, you're doing 10 sprawls from now on.
Right now, we have Taika doing 10 sprawls whenever he's like, whenever
Like
he's not,
rude.
yeah, whenever he's rude or he has attitude or he's talking back or when he's making careless mistakes with his homework, because since we all know now he has ADHD, he likes to just kind of like zoom through shit because he wants to do the next fun thing. So we go, all right, double check your work. Like if you get anything wrong, every wrong answer is going to be 10 sprawls. So that's where the 10 sprawls comes in. But yeah, if it's something that he can control, like cheating, I expect him to deal with that on his own. Facing the public on his own. Obviously, I want to consult him and talk to him and help navigate it. I don't want to solve his problems for him because that's just not what I like. I don't like solving people's problems. In one
essence, though, that situation that you're describing, it is like, if I look at the bright side, if I had to look at the silver lining, what is kind of cool is that dude's relationship with his mom.
It is cool.
The fact, because there's a lot that you can infer from it, right? One, I'm assuming it's not a last minute, hey mom, my fucking girlfriend's gonna call me, I'm cheating on her, just cover my back. Because more than likely, moms are gonna go, what the fuck is happening? And they're not gonna get your back when you just throw it on them like that, right?
Yeah.
Chances are. So I'm assuming that it's been an ongoing conversation, right? Hey, this chick that I'm with, I don't know.
You probably pitched it all wrong too. Like, she's a bitch. I want to get away from her. I hate it.
Yeah, could be. Probably pitched it all wrong. At the same time, I have this other chick that I like. I don't know what to do. So what I'm inferring from it is what's kind of cool, if I infer correctly, is that he has a pretty open communication with his mom.
Yeah.
That he can walk the thoughts through and have back and forths to the point of, hey, mom, can you help me? And that is kind of cool because I don't feel like that's not something I could have ever even dreamed of asking my parents.
It's cuny, it's cool, but the way I like to think, and we've discussed this many times, in the moment it's cuny and it's warm and it's like, oh, like I can hide, and my mom's like fucking gonna like put a blanket over me and like cuddle me, right?
Yeah.
And that is cuny, and I love it. It makes my heart very warm. But I like to think in 5, 10, 20, 30-year increments. And then I'm like, okay, but how else is this kind of like me pacifying this behavior? Like, where else is this going to like come up to where he doesn't even know how to solve that situation?
Oh, for me, every time I get his back, he owes me. No, he owes me one.
What do you mean? How?
It all depends.
How does he owe you? Like, what would?
So I'm old school.
Yeah.
With the K. Okay.
Old school with the K. Okay.
Yeah. SKOOL.
You're fucking stupid.
All right. So don't get it twisted.
Okay. Don't get it twisted.
No. If I cover you.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah, but what the fuck are you doing that needs covering, bro?
If I cover, I'm covering for Taika.
Yeah.
If I cover you.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we're going behind the dumpster, and I'm socking you in the stomach like 3 times.
Oh, shit.
You owe me.
But you're fucking old now. Like, how bad is that going to hurt? You're not going to be a vivacious, vibrant.
Take steroids for 6 months.
Just for that, because you know he's going to fuck up.
Increase my protein, and then work only on right hooks and get a boxing coach. And then I'm going to sock him in his stomach 3 times.
And you think that's going to teach him a lesson of manhood?
No,
it's just teaching him that his dad's going to fuck his ass up.
No, what it teaches him is there's rules to this jungle. And we live in a jungle.
Yeah, but the right people aren't putting the consequences on him.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
That's why it depends on the jungle, right? I'm telling you. Some jungles, a new lion from another pride comes, kills this mother's babies. This mother gets horny, fucks that lion. So it's the rules of the streets. It's which rules you abide by. I abide by my rules of my streets.
But that jungle.
So if I got your back, son, you fucking owe me.
Yeah, then he's not going to go to you anymore. He's going to come to mama.
He will. Well, I mean, we're in the same fucking jungle.
Or he's just going to be by himself.
No, he'll go to mama then. But he'll know no one gets me like my dad, but it comes with the price. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes with the motherfucking price. So you better think twice before you ask nice.
What's the other word?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's fucking hard, man. Like, when I try to think of shit like that, like, obviously I can only give you, like, answers that I've worked through in my own brain with my own made-up scenarios. But when the time comes, like, I don't really know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, because there's at least 3 other curveballs you never thought of.
100%, you know, or like now he gets her pregnant, or now he has 2 chicks pregnant. I'm like, oh my fucking God, I thought I taught you better than this. It's fucking hard.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I do want to have his back. Growing up, I didn't feel like my mom had much of my back, honestly. And it was more specific to like with my dad. And now I get it. Now that I'm married, and we have Taika and shit, and like he tries to divide us, where he's like, "Mom, can I do this?" And I'm like, "No." And then like he waits and he walks to you, "Hey, Dad, can I do this?" And then you heard me say no, and he's like, and you're like, "Why did you ask me? Me and your mom were a team. Like we're not gonna like." He tries to not.
Or even if I don't hear what you said, I'll go, "What did Mom say?" And he goes, "Oh, Mom said yeah." I'm like, "She really said yeah? You better think long and hard before you fucking owe me to take you to the fucking dumpster.
The jungle.
Sock you in the
3
stomach."
times.
You know?
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, Mom said no." I'm like, "Okay, good."
Yeah, but like now looking back at why she would choose my dad over me, I'm like, I get it. You know, like they're their partnership. Like they are loyal to each other. But growing up, it didn't feel like she had much of my back.
But she didn't also mediate.
In her own way.
That's probably something she could have worked on.
I guess so. I guess I don't really know what happens behind the scenes. Maybe she tried and
true.
he overpowered her. You know what I mean? Like we don't really know.
Well, no, because you would know if she mediated. Because you would be the only one that knew. So, for example, when Taika thinks you're a bitch and he comes and talks to me and I can tell in his mind, he goes, "Man, Mom's being a fucking bitch right now," I mediate. I'm like, "Why did Mama do this? Or why did Mama like take that away from you? Or why did Mama say you can't have donuts?" "Well, because I was acting bad or whatever." And like, you know, I help unravel this fucking knot in his brain and he understands more and more and more. So when he has Mom's a fucking bitch, at least,
all right, tone it down.
At least he leaves with,
I understand.
I see, Mama had my back. I understand.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe she didn't. I just wasn't listening as an adolescent kid.
Maybe. I mean, she also didn't have the same tools that we have.
Yeah.
We literally can go on Instagram and then there's like 10 ways to be a better mom, you know?
Yeah. That's true.
But yeah, I think for our kid, because I felt that kind of divide before, like to me, it's very important. And I like, I always liked the everyone suffers together mentality.
Yeah, I like that too.
So like I would see, you know, like two kids fighting in a family, and then they're fighting. "Oh, Josh hit me. No, Jim hit me. Whatever." I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Both of you guys are doing push-ups right now.
I like it.
Right. So it's like you guys. I don't give a fuck who started. Doesn't even matter. You guys are brothers. You shouldn't be.
You and Mia, Taika. Mia's in the room right now.
Yeah.
Mia, you both fucking give me 10 laps.
Yeah, you guys. I don't give a fuck. You guys are brothers. Shouldn't be treated like that. I don't like when there are favorites. Well, that's the sister, whatever. Oh, that's the little brother. And then I think that's when it creates a divide.
Yeah.
And then when you create a divide, even though you could have a big family, you don't feel like you're in a family. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that either.
Because when you do
I don't even think people do it on purpose. You know.
For sure they don't do it on purpose. It's their own lack of thinking. Because when you go to a team, like any sports team, that's one of the dopest things about it. It's like, oh, okay, so guess what? Gio wants to be late. Everyone thank Gio for the next 10 laps.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like everyone's like, fuck Gio. But it's also like.
Everyone's keeping everyone on check,
yeah,
too.
because when Jenna's late, everyone's running 10 laps too. Or when Jenna misses the ball or whatever, And so it's a thing where everyone stays
together. Jenna sucks.
Well, she got nice titties. And so everyone stays
You're
together.
So weird.
Why am I weird?
Because you thought of Jenna's titties. You're so fucking weird. What sport did they
play?
What sport does Jenna play? Basketball?
No, it's a new sport. I never even heard of it.
You're fucking weird. Go ahead, what?
Well, yeah. Well, if you're going to talk shit about my Jenna, I'm going to get her back like that. All right?
Yeah.
She got nice titties. Don't be talking shit about my Jenna like that.
So what happened when you were saying how if the girl talks shit to you and you're like, yeah, fuck her anyway, like who cares? Where you're basically solving his problems. And then it was like a mind switch when I was like, what the fuck?
So for me, it was, let's say he's with the crazy bitch, and I know she's a fucking crazy bitch from day one, and my son's too pussy to break it off like a man. And so I'm just trying to extinguish, if you will, the fire as much as I can. on the front end. On the back end, I'm gonna talk to him and be like, you need to man the fuck up. The next time one of your girlfriends fucking calls me on my phone, I don't even know why this motherfucker has my phone number, because you guys aren't getting married. I don't know where she got that from, but the next time that happens, there's gonna be 6 socks in the stomach behind the dumpster. You know?
You wouldn't even want them to have your phone number?
Not if she's a fucking crazy ass bitch. If they're like, if it's good. To me, that's why it's all about intent and context and all that, right? If I'm like, oh man, I see marriage between them, and I see the way he talks about them, and what I'm like, yeah, give him a phone number. I'll be her second dad now. You know? But if not, like, you remember one of the first presents I bought for you? I talked to your mom hella to get you that camera. I think your mom already liked me, already probably like accepted me into your family. Right? But if your mom thought I was like some fucking sleazeball, she probably wouldn't want to pick up my phone or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So I would be like, yeah, it depends. Depends who it is. But fucking, you better keep my name out of your motherfucking mouth.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And now that I said what I said about that crazy bitch scenario, what are your thoughts now?
I like yours because I think mine is still kind of like hood justice, whereas I think yours is, it actually props him up to handle things, because I think I'm still kind of involved, you know? I'm still kind of like the village leader trying to like do this, but I think as much as there is involvement, I'm taking away a chance for him to build his own tools.
Yeah.
So I think as a dad, I asserted myself too much. So I actually like your approach, where no, you're an adult now. I'm gonna have 0 involvement. Whereas mine, it was still put out the fire in the front, make him understand at the end. But if his actions caused the crazy Korean bitch to slash his tires and break his windshield, that's something he just has to go through. I can't get ahead of him and try to like alleviate that, you know?
Yeah. Throw the pillows down, as you would say.
Yeah. I think that's very, very important. People got to learn their lessons, and that's the best way to learn.
Yeah, you have to fail.
You have to.
Yeah. And again, it's all easy when I'm sitting in the comfort of my own home, filming a podcast, very level-headed right now, you know? Like, I'm just having my coffee. Like, I feel good.
I mean, we've all seen the no dog on the bed rule.
What the fuck?
And we've all seen how many times Mia has been sleeping on the bed. We've seen that.
Ever since I washed our bed, she hasn't come up.
I mean, it's nice that she hasn't slept on our bed for 2 days.
Not 2 days. Stop it. I washed the bed last Saturday.
But when you love someone,
and it's
hard.
barely Friday.
It's hard, you know. When you love someone, I understand. You become a big softie, and it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do when it actually happens. Hopefully I can like repeat this shit to myself and just really hold on to like, he needs to make his own mistakes. He needs to learn. I'm just there as a guide. When I was watching Kanye West's documentary, what is it called? I don't know, but it's on Netflix.
Not Genius, right? Is it Genius?
It's something like that with
Genius?
Ye or some shit. Anyway, so there's a lot of footage because it records like when he was hustling to become the Kanye that we know now.
Yeah. When
he was just like putting in the work, and he's just a producer.
Yeah, pre-college dropout.
Yeah, he just popped off as a producer, and he wanted to break out of that. But there's a lot of footage of his mom, like, and him who were like super tight, like they're super best friends.
Yeah.
And I really liked it, but something that kind of like I had a slight paradigm shift to was, I forgot what the question or what the prompt was, but she replied, she says, "Oh, I'm done parenting him. Like, I'm his friend now. Like, it's not like I'm not his parent anymore." Like, obviously she's saying I am his parent, but she's like, I'm not here to parent anymore. Like, I'm his friend. Like, I genuinely want to see him succeed. And I was like, that's so fucking tight, because yeah, there's some times where like now we have to like severely parent because we need to guide him a lot of the time, right? Because he doesn't understand the consequences to his actions, or like, you know, like tantrums or controlling emotions or whatever. But then understanding at what point you need to back off on the parenting and be okay with just being a friend that really wants to support him.
What do you think about the saying, I'm not your friend, I'm your parent?
I say that shit all the time to Taika.
Really?
You don't hear me?
Well, because at the same time, you're like, you're my best friend.
Who says that?
You.
I mean, because he says that to me because it's CUNY talk.
So what is it? Are you his friend or are you his parent?
Right now I'm his parent, and he can't talk to me like his friend because he doesn't know how to.
Because the true definition of that is, I don't want to know anything about you from a eye to eye level. I only want to know things about you from a top down, down up level.
Yeah.
So in our actuality, the way we parent, it is actually
pretty eye to eye.
Friend parent. You know, like we parent, we try to mold them and stuff. But there's a lot of times we just talk and we really like, you know, I think we're trying to have the relationship that we didn't have with our parents.
Right.
Because our parents was zero friends. It was
right.
all parent, all kids. You know,
well,
so
I say that in more of a respect your elders type of way.
I know, but I'm saying it in what do you think about that traditional way of bringing kids up where up to 18, I'm your parent, 18 and on, I'm your friend.
I don't think it's a number type thing. Because like, let's say he starts showing me in like 7th grade, he's super honor roll. He comes to us and tells us what his next college thing is going to be. Like he's very involved in his own life. Then at that point, I'm like, oh shit, my guidance here is going to be very minimal. Like now he's just going to pick my brain for my wisdom, right? Like, mom, how do I open up a bank account? Or like, hey mom, like how do I fill up my application papers? Like it's not going to be something where I'm going to be like, okay, don't drink and drive. Let me smell your breath. Okay. You know what I mean? Like that's not parenting anymore. So if he shows me he's capable of controlling his own life, then at that point I can like completely take my hands off the wheel. I'm like, okay, I think you can drive yourself.
So do you think?
But I'm still watching.
Gotcha. So do you think? So for you, parenting and friendship is kind of like, it's maybe in the beginning it's like 99% or 90%, 10%, and then depending on how he's developing, it goes from back and forth.
I don't know if I view it like that. Parenting.
Because the way that I view it is, this is the difference between parenting and friendship, right? Both, the mission is the benefit of the other person, right? Parenting is this. Friendship is this. Hey, dude, I think you should probably go work out. You want to go work out with me? Dude, I've been training. Dude, I lost 15 pounds. I got a lot of muscle. I got way better at jiu-jitsu. I know you want to get better at jiu-jitsu. No? Okay, cool. That's friendship. Parenting is like, you're going to jiu-jitsu. You're going to train. If you don't train, you're not watching TV. You know, like friendship is like, hey, dude, there's this new like 0% APR credit card. I think you should sign up for it. And I know you have some debt, you know.
Yeah. Then it's.
Parenting is sign up for the credit card now.
Yeah.
By tomorrow, if I check and all the other credit cards aren't consolidated on this credit card, you lose this, right? So to me, it's like, it's different. So I think that phrase of I'm your parent, not your friend, it's more like I have rules and you follow them.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how you feel.
Yeah.
And then usually it's like, okay, I did my job and all these rules, your age of maturity. Now let me get to know you. I think that's that mindset, that school of thought.
Yeah. And what was your question?
Are you more towards that, or for you, is it kind of like you run two at the same time?
It's kind of a hybrid for sure. Whereas right now I'm leaning more on the parenting side. But I do want him to know that there is this like open line of communication where I can be vulnerable too. And I'm not just like the rule enforcer or the rule maker. I do try as often as I possibly can. I do try to explain the philosophy behind the rule. I know a lot of the times it's probably falling on deaf ears because he's 5.
Yeah.
But just through my experience with raising him, things stick. You know, not the whole thing, but like the gist of what I'm trying to say will stick, you know? So I just stick to that where I'm like, I'm going to try to explain it every single time. And then little by little, you start building your own blocks and it just kind of falls into place for you. And also he's 5. So I think the friendship part of it right now is very minimal just because I'm everything to him. He doesn't know anything else. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think so. I actually disagree.
What?
Yeah. So like, this is my feeling and this is me correcting myself.
Okay.
In the beginning, like, I think it's easy to minimize people that are young. Oh, he's only 5, whatever, right? So my ignorance was almost like, he's not enough of a person to be friends with yet. You know what I mean? Like if I were to interface with him, his connection points are 3. Snacks, looking for treasures or whatever, right? So
but those are huge.
So those other things that I am trying to connect, I can't really connect with him, which is why you don't see 40-year-olds hanging out with 8-year-olds very much, because there's just not too much to connect. You're not enough of a person to connect yet, right? Which is why like people of the same class experience, they can connect because their worlds are the same, so they interface like 1,000 points, right? That's how I viewed it. So for me, it was very easy for me to parent because I'm like, you don't know shit. I tell you everything. You do everything I do. But I also realized the problem with that is it becomes a relationship like me and my parents. And it's not until you're older, then you get to have all this uncovering, and then you kind of like repair both the present and the past at the same time. So what I realized is when I am able to take my parenting brain away, and sometimes I'm like, okay, cool, this is a controlled environment. We did what he needed to do. He worked out. He did his homework. He ate his food. Now I don't think anything can go wrong in this environment. I throw the parenting away, and I'm going to connect with him as a person. Then when I zoom in, it's almost like Bug's Life. You know how like you zoom in now, the grass is like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
A dew of water becomes this big. So when I'm at his level, I'm like, he'll share with me about his lizards, about acorns, like how like if he acorns, what does
it becomes a tree.
Yeah, does it become a tree?
Yeah.
Like all that stuff, right? And I realized like, oh man, like if I always just parent, I miss out on all of this.
Yeah.
All of this Bug's Life view of things. So I'm just looking top down.
Yeah.
And I also, not only do I miss out on this, the times that you would need to parent because you think they don't know, so I'm just force him.
Yeah, it's easier.
A lot of it happens here, the little mechanics, because he's explaining the world that he sees that I think most adults dismiss actually.
Yeah.
Like that's not important. Like, but now I'm in this world with him, and I can help him like see this Bug's Life world. So as he becomes taller than the grass, he comes with the tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did I say that prompted you to say that?
I don't know. I was just sharing.
Okay. Was it something that I said where you're like, I don't see it like that?
Oh yeah.
What was the thing I said?
I forgot.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't see it like that. Because, or did I just prove your point? I don't even know. I was just sharing kind of like an epiphany that I had.
So, okay, I remember what happened. So I was talking about how I'm parenting more now than being a friend, right?
Yeah.
And what you're talking about to me is what I view as nurturing his person. So what you're calling friendship is me just nurturing his interests, nurturing and building up his confidence. So I don't really see it as a friend just yet.
What's the difference between nurturing and being a friend to you?
I guess I don't know. But I guess that's why it didn't click to me that I am being his friend.
Because to me, I think that is being his friend.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm saying like it didn't click to me at that moment. And that's why when you said what you just finished saying, I'm like, I do the same thing because we do have those same conversations. And he's talking to me about everything he learns in school and just like the lizards and the acorn. And we do have, like now every time at dinner, now he asks, because I started the trend, he asks, so what's your favorite thing?
Yeah.
And every day at dinner, we really get to like have deep conversations, or as deep as they can be for Taika, but they're like pretty deep.
Yeah.
About like his likes, his dislikes, his, what makes him excited, what makes him nervous. But yeah, I didn't see it as a friendship, and maybe that's exactly what I'm doing, where maybe this is the Libra side of me, but I do really try to keep a balance. Because as much as I'm drilling and trying to instill morals and ethics and respect and self-confidence, I'm also trying to remember how it felt for me not having that outlet, or not having people listen to me, or not people really dismissing, things that were big to me, right? Like if I was crying over not being able to call my best friend that day. For most adults, it's like, who cares? You're going to see them at school in a couple hours anyway. Like, get over it, But for a kid, that's huge. It is this big water, It is Ant World.
Yeah.
Or the movie Ants. Bug's Life. It is Bug's Life, It's like, but that is my world. That is my biggest thing today, and the thing I've been looking forward to forever. Like, this is my Christmas, and you're telling me that it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So because that was something that I carried with me for so many years, and something that just made me so sad, that like I'm very I try to, at least when I'm not fucking, when I don't have my head up my own ass with my own shit that I'm dealing with, you know, like at work or whatever, when I can see it, I'm like, oh shit, this is a big deal for him, you know. So I was seeing it as like, I'm just being the person I didn't have to him.
Yeah, I didn't really have this like epiphany until maybe this year.
The which one?
Like,
oh, the parenting, like going in on him.
Yeah, because I think if I had to boil down my emotions and feelings towards him, or just towards children in general, from a parent to a child, I think my two main emotions is responsibility and reward. And so responsibility is like making sure he's fed, making sure he learns his manners, making sure he can operate in society, right? There's all these things. And I feel like in our parents' generation, that's 99% of parenting. Do this, eat your vegetables, blah, 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 blah. It's just constantly one-way communication, right?
Yeah.
And then so there's that part that I feel like that's what's instilled in me. I better raise a successful, productive person of society that has honor and all that and all that shit, right? What?
All that shit.
And then the reward part of it, though, is during the times where like I'm able to slow down, because I think you're usually on obligation mode, right? Okay, work. Okay, you gotta make food. Okay, make the food, and then you gotta eat. Are you fucking eating? Oh fuck, you gotta go to sleep soon, or you're gonna have a fucking seizure. God damn it! You know, it's like you're in that fucking you're in that mode, right?
Yeah.
Then you kind of miss the beauty of knowing who he is. And so it wasn't really until like maybe this last year where a lot of times, and I think what helped me get there was a lot of our hikes. You know, like I just knew that when we're hiking, he can be himself, and I don't have to don't do this or whatever. Like he could chuck a rock, he could do whatever. He could talk to me about how, oh, did you know that oh, did you see the cactus? That's strange, the cactus growing on the dirt over there. Like I get to know him. And that is like a different type of relationship, and like that's why I call it reward, because it's not this way. It's more like me getting this way.
Cuny.
Yeah, and then the reward part, the more I know him, the more rewarding it is, and like the more I know that like he doesn't like gel, he likes hairspray. Like even all those small things, you really get to know him, and that's like has been so enjoyable for me.
That is cuny.
Yeah, and I didn't really realize like that's kind of like my like clutch and accelerator when I'm like obviously if I see something glaring, like don't do that, whatever, or hug your tios and tias and stuff like that. But then also like being able to like, oh, how come you don't like hugging that tio? Oh, that guy smells or whatever. But I'm like, I get to like know more about who this person is, you know?
Yeah,
it's very, very cuny.
That is cuny. Yeah, I guess yeah, that's something that just came. It wasn't an epiphany that I had. I've always been like that with kids, just because I've seen it. You know, I see parents with their heads up their asses, and when I say heads up their asses, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean more so like the obligation part.
Yeah,
they just can't.
They're just overwhelmed with the obligations of life.
Yeah, they can't. You know, they can't slow down. They can't let go of the thing that they're holding on to, or else everything gets fucked.
Yeah.
So anytime I do come across kids like that, I just become a kid like them, and not a kid like them to where I'm like fucking being goofy and like acting their age, but I'm definitely listening.
Yeah.
And I'm asking questions, and I always see kids really gravitate towards that because I think they don't get it, and I'm like, oh, I know that feeling.
It's hard. You know what the thing is? It's like the obligations of life. You feel like you can't, but you can.
You can't what?
Like they feel like they can't slow down to get to the other side. But you always can. Like I don't know how many times I've seen parents like at Disneyland, for example, or Disney World, or even traveling abroad, right? I can't, like parents are so...
Did you say Karens?
Parents.
Oh. Like
parents are so focused on having a good trip, they don't have a good trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like logistically.
Let's be on time.
Yeah, we made.
Let's get all the tickets. Did you lose your ticket? Do you have your stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's going on. Okay, we got to go to lunch now. Is everyone ready? You guys got ready? It's still an obligation.
Versus like.
That's what I mean. Head in their ass.
Yeah. And then they had zero bonding
Yeah.
for a week, even though they had the whole trip together.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you slow that down?
I think,
like, how do you take time?
You have to constantly remind yourself, because I think everyone thinks that there is like the A story that's at play, but the true thing to cherish and uphold is the B story.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. So would it be something like, the saying, like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey?
Yeah.
So is that what you're talking about? Like slowing it down more in that regard? So if it comes to the vacation, then it's going, all right, well, fuck it. All plans out the window. Where do you want to eat today, Johnny?
Well, I mean, I think plans are great because you plan with your head, but know that you're really traveling for your heart. So if your
and
heart...
how do you travel for your heart versus your head?
So your heart is, I want to bond. I want to be with my family for a whole week. It's spring break. You know, I want to get to know Johnny.
What if you don't know how?
What do you mean?
How do you start?
Spend time and use your heart. Try to connect with their heart. Versus, okay, so that's what the goal is. Now you plan, right? Which is good. So now, okay, you know what's good? Johnny really likes hockey, so we're gonna go to this hockey place. We're gonna do all these things, right? But after that, go back to your heart. When you're at the hockey game, whether you're late or not, whatever, that's not important. What's important is watching the game with your kid and like making sure it's hard because that's not how our brains function. You know, our brains are so like frontal cortex that like we want to solve problems.
Yeah, that's what they're there for.
But that's how we end up losing the connection, because we're so focused on
solving the problem.
Yeah, the A story part of it. You know, like what is on paper versus the subtext of what we're trying to get to.
Yeah. Parenting is so hard.
It's very hard. But you're a pretty good parent.
I'm all right.
You're all right.
I'm pretty stoked with our life changes that are happening now. You know, where I get to be more of a parent. I'm pretty stoked about that. Sorry, my sweater's kind of choking me a bit. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked on that for sure. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about the dude. He's a cutie guy. But my goal with him is to always make him a stand-up dude, where he's given the guidance so that he can craft his own tools. And these tools are the right tools, you know, not the tools that are going to like hurt fucking thousands of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other day I was thinking, and I don't know if this is going to be accurate because it's not a complete thought. Oh, I don't even know if it relates to this. Never mind, it doesn't relate to this.
Perfect.
Sorry. Okay, well, I'll just say it because now it's fucking weird. But I was just saying how, you know, there's different types of personalities on this planet, right? There's like a ton. Or maybe there's even a handful, right? Like there's just types of people. And then you have your go-getters. That's a type of person, like the people that are like really about obtaining what it is that they want. Like they're these hungry people. And it's just so interesting to me that depending on the nurturing of that personality, if it's nurtured for good, then they can do amazing things, right? But if it's unnurtured, or just if they so happen to go on the path of where it's nurtured for bad, then they go on a completely different path. Someone like kind of like you, right? Where growing up, you're a really smart kid, but your home was so cold and broken that you needed to fill that void of the warmth and togetherness that you found a gang, right? But imagine if you didn't have that, like what your life would look like now, you know? So I just found that so interesting that like what seems like something that is so simple, or I mean, it does, I guess, I don't know, it seems simple on paper that like if you do good and you help instill good and you are able to focus on your kids and nurture the good in them, that like they can propel and be something great in life. That's all.
I see.
But yeah, that's what the thought was, where I was just like, damn, it's like, life can be really simple and we just complicate things like crazy.
Life is very simple.
That's the point of it all.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, it just kind of blew my mind of like the simplicity of things, where I'm like, why do we make things so fucking complicated? Like, why do we have to add so many obstacles and all these explanations to things that don't need explanations? Like, it really is simple. Operate with love, operate with respect.
Well, the rules, the solutions to life are simple, but life is sophisticated. It's like everyone knows if you eat less than you need, you lose weight. Oh, but it's Matthew's birthday on Thursday and he loves buffets. Boom. What do? Here's a test. Oh shit. It's guess what, guys? At work, we hit the KPIs we wanted this quarter. Big celebration, chocolate cakes all around. Someone brought donuts in. Do you say no? Oh, cool. Jenny is brought her famous vegetarian dumplings. Brought it for everybody because she really cares. Do you say no? It's like the keys are easy, but then life is like fucking speed bumps and jumps and gaps everywhere.
Yeah, fuck life. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
it's a complicated thing, but it's good to know that at least we have each other's backs and we have Taika's best interest in mind. And if he is a fucking lying little snaky cheater, who wants to
sock him up?
No, we're gonna make him confront his issues and his problems like a fucking man. Even if he was a woman, like if Taika was a Taikita, I would have the exact same solution. Like, no, bitch, you need to fucking solve your problems like a goddamn woman now.
Yeah.
But put your big draws on. You need to face that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't treat.
I'll sock her up too.
No, you wouldn't. You would not sock her up.
I would.
No, you wouldn't.
She'd
You wouldn't
still
even
own me.
sock up Taika.
She just own me. I'm gonna sock her up 3
Okay.
times in the stomach.
All right, fine, you little veterano. On that note, is there anything else you want to add?
No.
Anyone you want to shout out?
Yes. Shout outs to Barbell Brigade for also sponsoring this podcast. Obviously, it's our own brand, but it helps us support this podcast. So if you want anything, apparel, supplements, digital training, we have a strength program that I'm running right now to get the strongest I've ever been. And I've been crushing on my weights. If you follow me on my stories, go to barbellbrigade.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your fitness dope needs. So check it out.
See ya. Bye.